Hello class. In this lesson, lesson 6, we're going to talk about different containers that Python has to offer. Now we've been using variables, which are basically spots in memory or empty containers that you've been leveraging to hold certain values for your scripts. We're going to talk about lists in this lesson in particular. A list, as you can see, is a data structure that holds an ordered collection of items. So think of a list as just another type of container that Python has to offer, and we're going to discuss the different data types that it can hold. And right out of the gate, on how you create a new list is you encompass your objects within square brackets. And off to the left hand side we have a variable called shoplist equals square bracket, a string encapsulated in single quotation marks separated by a comma with another string that follows the same rhythmic pattern. And you can see that it has apple, mango, carrot, banana, and when we print the list, the output is the entire list. Each of these items is in an indice. Lists start at 0, 1, 2, and 3. So apple is in 0, mangoes in 1, carrots in 2, bananas in 3. Moving another way to create an empty list, moving right along to list functions, we create a variable called varList equals, that we call in the list function with no arguments, and that gives us an empty list. And here when we print our varList, we see that it just prints out brackets with nothing in it. That is our empty list. And also we leverage range with our list. So create a new variable, run list range 3, and then we print our variable list range, and we see that it has a 0, 1, and 2. So 3 would be our stop. So it starts at 0, does 1 and 2, and stops before 3. So we have 3 items in there as well. The bracket operator. Here we call a variable cheeses equals, declare a list with a bracket, cheddar, Edam, Gouda, 3 different types of cheeses, and then we print cheese 1. If everything works out right, we should print index 1. We're calling on index 1, which is Edam, and we see it right there. And now let's keep moving on to mixed lists. Lists can have different data types. Here we see we create a list with a string called spam, a float to mark 0, an integer of 5, and another list. And then we print that list. It prints out exactly the contents of that list, which was mixed. Let's scroll these up a little bit. And keep going, you can also have nested lists within lists. Here we create a variable called var list my bills. Inside this list we have another list. First thing's electric, second thing is 50, second item is 50. The next item in our first list is gas and 60 and cell and 60. And we can call on those by their indices. So if we call it indices 0, 1, electric 50 is in the 0 spot, 1 of the nested is 50. And when we print that, we get the value of 50, which is for our electric. More examples. Moving right along, going back to our cheeses, we create a variable called cheeses, throw a list of cheeses in there, those are strings. Variable of numbers, give it a list of numbers, 17 and 1, 2, 3, 123. We create an empty list. And then we do one print statement and print all 3 lists. And you can see that it prints them all. A mutable example. Numbers equals 17 and 1, 2, 3. and we call on the first indice in our numbers list, and we tell it to equal 5, and then we print our numbers. Indice 1 is 1, 2, 3, and when we go and print it, after we change it, we get 17 and 5. Let's scroll up a little more. Lists and functions. Moving right along, we declare an empty list called numbers. We fill it with 6 different integers. We print those integers. Then we leverage other functions that we discussed in earlier chapters: length, max, min, and sum. And here we can sum the list. And here's the length. We have 6 items, 6 objects in our list. The max is 74, the min is 3, and the sum is 154. So previous functions that we discussed in other chapters work on list objects. And when we do the same on string, we create a list called cheeses, length, min, max and min, and then sum. I commented that out because the sum of this will fail. I'm going to show you that in another command prompt in a second here. But you see, the length is 3 items, the max is Gouda, and the min is cheddar. And those are based on addition of the ordinals or character numbers. Now, let's go to the command prompt, jump into Python, create a new list called cheeses, and if we go back to our other screen here, and we do a sum of cheeses, we'll see that we receive a trace back that says that it's an unsupported operand for the integer types in a string. So we cannot do the sum of a list that's all strings, which is expected. Lists with nested lists count as an object. So this, we create a variable called my_list. In list we have spam1, more cheeses in a list. Then we have integers in a list. And then we do the length of my list, and the length is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. An entire list counts as an entire sublist counts as one object. Now how we traverse a list. Our trusty for loop. We create a variable called cheeses. We call on for each cheese in cheeses, or for each item in my items. But here we just simply say for piece in cheeses, print piece. And you can say that it loops. You can see that it loops through the list, prints out what's in index 0, 1, and then 3. And this is the beginning of lists. And I hope you enjoyed this. And next video will be coming up.